Good morning, it's Elaine from Penguin Place Crafts. To all my subscribers, welcome back. Happy Labor Day. And happy Labor Day to new people too. If you're just finding my channel, thank you for visiting. I hope that you'll subscribe. Still a fairly new channel, still gaining subscribers. So I just wanted to show you what I got done on my very productive weekend. Today probably isn't going to be as productive. Bad hair day. Because we are invited to a family Labor Day picnic at my daughter's house. So I will be spending the afternoon playing with my granddaughter and not getting as much done, but grandchildren trump over crochet projects. Okay, so I think the last project I showed you that I finished was the Pop Top, the mushroom frog. Well, that cutie was so cute. I figured you needed another one. This one's pink. Boop. Now for this one I learned that you really need to have the same weight yarn for the cap and the underside. This pink was a lighter worsted weight, probably between 3 and 4, and the underbelly was definitely a 4, so it sort of crinkles a little on the other underside. Didn't turn out perfect, but then none of my projects usually turn out perfect. So, but I made a pink one. And then, since I'm a Gurumi Wars, if you make something small, you need to make 3 of them. I made a yellow one. And since I have 3 of them now, I can get some group shots and individual shots and make a, I've already got a video, and get them up on Etsy. So let's see if I can get that done today before the picnic. Okay, then after that, I had someone contact me on Etsy about making some monsters in orange and white. Well, I messaged back to get more details and she never responded. But in the meantime, I searched my Ravelry stash, my yarn stash, for orange and pulled up some orange yarns from the basement and realized I am pretty low on orange. I don't have any like bright pumpkin orange left. I've got like burnt orange. So in one of my totes, it's the variety tote. It's mostly novelty yarns and weird stuff that I've picked up over the years. When you buy yarn at thrift shops, sometimes you'll get a couple of normal yarns in a bag and then something really weird. And I have gotten gifts, yarn gifts from people, so I have no idea where this came from. But I had this little wrapped around a cone of a coppery orange with bumps and sort of shiny and a weird texture to it. Well, I brought that up and I decided to see how it would do making dreads for a little monster, and I like it. So I made this little monster yesterday. I used up the green yarn. The body itself is 3 strands of like sport weight yarn in green, like Jamie Baby green. And then the blue that might even be a fingering weight. The blue was very thin. And then a sport weight white. So I used up the green. I just kept going until it was used up. Boom, I'm getting bopped in the face by the dreads. Okay. Well, that wasn't quite using up that orange yarn fast enough. And I had 2 cakes wound. I wound it on my little yarn winder. And about halfway through winding the cakes, it just ended. So yeah, the yarn had been cut about halfway through. So I had 2 cakes. So I started a project using 4 strands of this very thin, orange, bumpy yarn. I made a copper chicken. So I need to make a little nest for this. I think this would sell better if it had a little nest and a couple eggs and, sell it as a package deal. But little orange chicken. Well, I was on a use it up for my scrap bin. So that blue yarn, I made a 3Z monster. This thing is 3-sided, has 3 legs, 3 arms, and 3 eyes, and the Rockstar dreads. These throw really well. So, I don't know. I have to find the rest of my monsters to update my monster listing, because now I have 2 new ones. And the last weekend of August, I'd made a pink monster during the craft show, so I do need to update that listing. So, the quest to empty the scrap bucket continued. I'll put a picture up here of what my scrap bucket looked like. Well, the big ball of yarn, that I added. But the scrap bucket was still pretty full. But I pulled out my pattern for Mr. Ugly. Mr. Ugly copper top version. Because, dude, I use the copper yarn for the... He's got really long arms. And you can, tie him in a knot. And he could hug something. Or he could just dab. Whoops, gotta go across here. Dab. Or, I don't know, could I make him floss? Sometimes I have a little bit too much fun playing with my toys. So by the time I was done with this guy, my scrap yarn box looked like, whoop. So, yay! The scrap yarn box is cleaned out. In fact, now I can use it as a project box. So, but all through yesterday, I kept thinking, I've got to get to my September goals. I need to start this. I need to start this. I need to start this. But I was just like, I don't want to. Oh, sorry about that. The problem is, yesterday afternoon, I took a 2-hour nap. I was just so tired around 2 in the afternoon. I couldn't keep my eyes open. I fell asleep hard and took a excellent 2-hour nap. Well, when you take a nap from 2 to 4 in the afternoon, then I was so well rested. I stayed up until midnight working on Mr. Ugly. And then I woke up at 6:30 because the sun was shining in the window and the birds were singing. And it's like, okay, I'm not getting back to sleep now. So I think I need a nap. But hopefully today I can psych myself up to work on a project from my September goals. Not just play with whatever I want to because I can. Just get back to business. I have the yarn set aside for a dachshund. I need to get working on Mr. Dachshund. I have the book out for the patchwork animals, and I have a couple of the yarns out. I haven't quite finalized the colors that I want for the frog, but I could work on that. I have projects all set to go. My scrap yarn bin is under control again, so there's no excuse. I need to get back to my goals. And then I look at okay, I've got almost 2 weeks to Lyra's birthday party when I need to have a project finished. I think I've got 2.5 weeks to when I need to drop off the donation basket for the September 30th craft show. So I need to get that finished. And Seemed like there was one other deadline, but now I can't remember it. So I just need to keep an eye on the deadlines and move forward with all these projects. I do feel like I'm making good progress, though. This just, finishing up this many projects over a weekend was a good success. Now, let's keep up with my my good progress of putting them right into my Etsy shop instead of letting them sit around. And I need to send in a submission for the Amigurumi Wars, because now I have probably about 5 or 6 projects that I need to get in. So I want to get them in small bites so that the host for this month isn't overwhelmed with like 20 pictures in one email. So that was yesterday. I'll see you in a couple days. Hopefully by the next time I check in, I will have a big project done, like a dachshund or one of my happy huggy cats or the patchwork frog, or some other project, that big project that's on my list that just pops right onto my hook without me planning it. So, goodbye. I'll see you later.